Okay, so this is the final part of our series about the Inertia-Svelte student management system series, and in this video we'll be looking at how we can install the media library and work on image uploads. So I'll be using this package to implement the image uploads because this package makes it really easy to integrate file handling and image uploads. So yeah, let's start by installing this package, and we might need to make some changes in here. Let me just, okay, so let's open up the terminal and I'm gonna type, okay, we already have that. So composer requires Spatie Laravel Media Library. Let's hit enter, and okay, that seems good. And there are a few installation steps that we need to perform. So let's publish our migrations. That's done, and we also need to migrate. Okay, this is also base table or view already exists, table media already exists. Okay, so I tried this myself, and that's the reason why we have these migrations already executed. Yeah, so we can get rid of that, and we need to run the migrations. Okay, that's done. Let's publish the config file. Okay, so once this is done, we can now work on our project. So that is adding in the image upload feature. So for that, let's go to the create.svelte, and here I'm gonna copy this code and paste that in below this input field, and the label is gonna be avatar. Let's update the for attribute and also the id attribute along with the bind attribute and the error attribute. So it's gonna be avatar, and okay, input type is gonna be file. And to bind the files within Svelte, what we need to do is, instead of passing in value, we can bind it with files, and this will give us the form data object, the JavaScript object, and then we can deal with the file handling just as we do in Laravel. So that's gonna be really simple, and everything else looks good. Okay, we need to add this avatar key in our form helper inside the form object. So here we can add it with the default with the initial value of null. So okay, let's save this and go ahead and reload our router. Okay, it's not reloaded. Okay, we have that here. Okay, won't really matter. So after phone number we have that, and what else do we need to do? So we need to implement file handling or image upload in the backend. So for that, let's check out student controller, and in the store, once we have the student data, we can attach media to this. So we have that inside. Okay, we also need to prepare the model layer. That's something that I forgot. So let's copy that, go to the student model because we want to associate it with this model. Let's import the trait, and we also need to implement this as media. Let's also import this thing, and okay, we are good to go. Now we can attach the media to our model. So to attach that, we have associating files, we have that model, and then we can add media to media collection. Okay, I'll just copy this code, and inside the store, what we want to do is we want to attach that image. So okay, not in here, but in student controller we have store method. So we need the model instance. So what I'll do is I'll just assign this with a value of student into the variable student, and now we can use the student model. We want to add the media. Okay, so the way we get the media from the request is by we'll get an array. So as you can see in the create.svelte, we are binding multiple files. So by default this supports multiple file uploads, so we'll get an array, and from there we will grab the first one. So let's go ahead and check out how this looks, and then we'll implement that. So let's dd the request avatar property, and let's see the result. So now if we go ahead and add in some data, and let's select class and section, let's choose a file. Okay, where do I have that? Pictures, Okay, maybe we can choose this, and if we click on save, okay, email is already taken. Let's save, and now as you can see we get an array, and inside that array we have these lists of uploaded file attributes. So this is the Laravel class, uploaded file class, and we can use this to manipulate or store the file now. So yeah, we need to get the first item if we want to store a single item for this. So we'll get that by using the index 0. Okay, so we want to add the media from the avatar input, and we want to get the first item, and so we also need to pass that to media collection, and this should now add or upload the file and do all the other stuff for us. So yeah, let's go ahead and test this out. And okay, we already have this file, so let's save this, and we are redirected to the index with the notification that the student was created successfully. And if we go ahead and check out storage, app, public, so these two are something that I tried myself. So inside the 3 we have this screenshot. Yep, so this thing is working. And let's also go ahead and test out our database, and as you can see we have this record being created. So how do we display that in the index? So that's also pretty simple. So I want to display that after the phone number, so I'll just copy this dd, and here I want to pass in the student.avatar, and let's wrap this inside an image tag, and the source is gonna be student.avatar. Let's also pass in an alt of student.name, and okay, let's also pass in a width of 200 pixels because I don't want to make it large. Okay, let's save this, and now if we go ahead and test it out, I think, okay, we need to make one more change. So in the student resource we are not passing anything. So to pass this, what we can do is in the avatar key we want to get the first media URL, and so this is the media collection. So since we are not using any media collections for now, so we can keep this empty. So yeah, this should now work. Let's save that and let's reload, and we should see an image in here. Okay, we don't see that. So what we did was we created a new record, so we need to check out the last record. Okay, as you can see we have that in here, and I removed that width thing while testing out, so I'll just add that again. And we also need to add a header after the phone number for the avatar. Yeah, this looks good. And by the way, what you can also do is we can assign an accessor for this. So get avatar property, and then inside that accessor you can pass in this function. So yeah, that's up to you. And I think we are done for the display and create. Now I want to work on the edit part. So here we'll get that avatar, so student.data.avatar, and we can display that in here. So okay, I think we can copy this thing. We can copy the whole markup, and okay, we all will also face a weird issue while dealing with file uploads in Inertia, and I'll also show you a fix about how we can fix that. So yeah, let me just hold these for now, and we'll have that image in here. We are binding that to form.avatar, and okay, let's save this. And now if we go ahead and edit, then we get an error. Input error is not defined. Okay, I made some mistakes in here, so I'll just import that, save that. Okay, I want to display the image in here if we have that. So what we can do is we can pass in the image. Source is gonna be student.avatar. Okay, I don't want to pass in any alt, but we can pass that inside this div so that they would have the same width. Okay, I think it should be student.data.avatar. Okay, this image is huge, so I'll just pass in a width of 300 pixels. Looks good. And let's also add in a margin bottom of 5. Okay, so that's done. And let's also check whether we have that avatar or not. Only then we want to display this thing. So let's pass that inside if student.data.avatar. Only then you want to display that. Okay, let's work on the update part now. So we need to, okay, we already added that, added the avatar property. So let's go ahead and implement that on the update. So this should be same for the update as well. We are currently not deleting the old images. Maybe I'll do that somewhere in the future. For now, I only want to add that media. And okay, this should work as expected, but it won't because Inertia has some weird issues while dealing with file uploads. So whenever we make any put request, and if the form consists of some files, then we get some issues. So what I'll do is I'll just dd request all in here, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So I'll just choose a file inside pictures. Let's upload this file and update. And as you can see, we are getting some validation errors in here. So we already have those data, but still we get these validation errors, and it took me quite some time to figure this out. And if we get rid of the dedicated form request class and just try to pass in these values, then we get an empty request array. So yeah, this has some issues. So to fix this, what we need to do is, it's mentioned in the docs as well, so we won't make the put request directly from here. What we'll do is we'll make a post request, and in the form we'll pass in a method property that says put. So now this will make a put request, but from the browser it's gonna make a post request. So yeah, this is gonna fix that bug, and we have it saved. So now if we reload it and choose a file and try to update, then as you can see, we get all of the form data along with the avatar, uploaded avatar, and now we can deal with that. So yeah, that's the general flow for handling file uploads in Inertia. So yeah, okay, let's save this and give it a try one last time. So this has the black bordered image in here, so I'll just choose another one. Okay, this doesn't has any black border, so I'll just choose that and click on update, and now we are redirected to the index page. Let's go to the 7th page, and okay, since we are not deleting the image, so we are getting that first item. So I think we can get the last item from that. I'm not really sure whether that method exists or not. So we can get the last media URL, and let's see if this works. Okay, we get an error. We don't have that get last media URL. Okay, so since we are getting the first item from the media collection, so to change that we can use a workaround. So if you go ahead and check out the interacts with media trait, then the way the get first media class is implemented is by calling in this get media. So by default the collection name is default, and it also passes in the filters, and then this returns a collection, and here it is returning the first item from the collection. So to get the last item, what we can do is inside the student resource we can do kind of similar functionality. So get media and then get the last item and then get the URL for that. So this should work, and this is something that I tested it myself. So here I'll comment this out and go ahead and reload this page. Okay, call to a member function, get URL on null. So this error is coming in because we don't have the media for other records for all the records. So we can get rid of it by calling in the optional parameter in here, this get media last get URL. Okay, let's save this, reload, and okay, now as you can see we are getting that last item from that media, and this should work in here as well. Okay, this took some time, which I must admit, but I hope that you learned some stuff along the way. And there are a few things here and there that I want to fix up in this video itself, since this is the last video. So yeah, it might get a bit lengthy, but yep, let's fix up some issues. So the first thing that I want to do here is I want to create a separate component for the pagination. So we can do that by extracting this whole thing to a separate pagination component. So let's go ahead and do that. Pagination.svelte, save that, and we'll get these data as a prop. So let's go ahead and define that. Export let data, and I think we also need links in here. So okay, let's first replace the students with data, and let's import the link. What else do we need? Okay, we don't need anything else. Let's save this, and now we can use that in here. So pagination, okay, not this, but pagination data is students. Okay, this looks good. Let's save that and check it out. Okay, this seems to work fine. So yeah, that's done. And other things that you can do here is you can actually create or maybe refactor these into using the components that we already have in here, like input label, input error. Yeah, so just like the text input, so you can use these and probably make this a lot cleaner, and the UI would also be a bit consistent with the Breeze package. If you have that use case, then you can do that. And one more thing I want to implement here is we don't have any title in here. We can implement this by providing in the Svelte head. So this is something that comes with Svelte, so we can pass in title, create student, and you can also pass in the app name in here by using the page.props. So the prop from the middleware, we can do that. So I'll just show that to you right now. So here, let's pass in app name, and we can use config for that, config app.name, and we can use that in here. So page dot props dot app name. Okay, let's see if this works, and then we'll fix if there are any issues. Okay, I think we need to import this page, so we can do that from Inertia package itself. So yep, let's save that and let's test it out. Maybe we need to reload this thing. Okay, we did that inside the create, so let's go to the create page, and as you can see we get that create student with the app name that is coming from the backend. So yeah, that's one of the improvements. And what else do we have? Okay, I think that is okay. One more thing that I noticed here is I want to apply the active link for all the student CRUDs on the create and edit page. So we can do that on the nav. Do we have the nav? Okay, we don't have that, so that's inside authenticated layout. So we can pass in active links to these. Active is if route.current is students.index. So let's pass in some additional data to this, or route.current is students.create, students.edit. Okay, these are the only ones that we need. So now whenever we are on the create or on the edit, then this is going to be an active link. So yeah, these are the things that I wanted to implement in the final video, and I hope that you learned some new stuff along the way. And yeah, that's it for this series, and I'll see you guys in the next one.